combines have a lot of technology, even more than some of these new cars that drive themselves.
When you go to the store and pick up your groceries, think a farmer.
Just typical day of farming, zip ties and duct tape. That's our motto on our farm.
I've never had a really good crop like that be taken away so quick.
You know, he was kind of an idol, you know, big, strong dude. Probably I got all my competitive edge from him. Yeah, he was a badass.
Let's get muddy.
Dude, look at that. That's pretty awesome, actually. Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name's Cardinal, and I'm here to run the combine. I'm 16 years old and started driving tractor when I was 8. Master combine driver in here cutting some wheat. So this thing here grinds the wheat. Got a big rotor in it, and it spins around and it just knocks it off, can get all the grain out. After that, it'll separate it all together and throw it all in this tank right behind me, which you could see the wheat's in there. And it throws out all the trash, like gets it out of our way so we can get all the grain out. Wheat can be made into many things. There's wheat meal, there's bread, there's the breakfast cereal or the bagels or whatever you guys ate this morning for breakfast might have came out of one of our fields. This one here's got auto steer, auto leveling for your head, auto tilts. It's also got these cameras on here. This one here is show your backup camera so you don't back into anything. And this one here's your grain tank so you know how full you are.
So we're out here planting some double crop beans, which is the second crop in the same season. Brandon, my brother, and Dallas, my son, are in the combines harvesting the wheat. I'm here planting double crops right behind them. But then we got to haul the wheat away, so then we got a couple truck drivers and a grain cart driver. A farm with the diversity that we got in crops takes a lot of people.
I can drive almost about anything on this farm. When you're a kid on the farm, there's so many jobs, so many things that need to be done that my generation, we seem kind of lucky. The older generation, like my dad and my grandpa and them, they didn't have none of this. They had to drive everything, they had to pay attention to the row, they had to do everything by themselves. It's all manual work pretty much. There is a lot more work to it than just letting it do by yourself. Just like here, I'm watching and make sure I don't cut over the top of the wheat or cut too deep on it. So I just get the head and leave everything else out the back. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm in this generation. It's pretty nice. Watch it come out.
We're just no-tilling it right into this wheat stubble here, as you can see. Probably some of the most challenging planting that we do. So yeah, I'm just checking depth, making sure basically that I'm getting them in the ground. Yeah, typically when you drive down the road and you see combines and the fields harvesting the wheat crop, you probably think that these guys are done for the season, but no, we're not. I mean, we are fortunate to be able to get a crop in after the wheat. It's a huge relief when we get wheat harvest done, get the double crop beans in the ground, and maybe we could have a week or two slow time before watermelons hit, but that don't always happen. So that's what we shoot for anyway. So everything looks good here. It's time to get back in the planter and put some more beans in the ground. Let's rock and roll.
Broke a chain earlier. We should be all right for a couple more acres. I put it back on there and I said, think I need to put a new one on it? And they said, nope, send it. So I sent it. there is a lot of breakdowns on farming, but sometimes you just gotta slap it together and just try to get your crops on the ground or try to get them out of the ground, whatever you're doing. Sometimes you just gotta throw it together and get it done. Stuff that gets wore out, and if you guys drove a case combine or any case equipment, it'd break every day. Especially you, Kevin.
There, it's fixed. Just typical day of farming. Zip ties and duct tape. That's our motto on our farm. Me and Joe's down here. We're planting corn down here in one of the river bottoms. In the background, you can see our tractor and our corn planter. It's a 12-row planter. That planter is pretty sophisticated. It will tell us how many seeds per acre that we're putting down. So this is some of our better dirt here. So we're pushing a population from 36 to 42,000 seeds per acre.
In the case of farming, we have to be very precise. Precision pays a huge difference.
The neat thing about the planter is not only does it plant our seed, we also put our fertilizer down there too.
Kevin's family has been doing for the last 18, 20 years is he concentrates everything now beside the row in a liquid program, which is way more efficient than throwing dry fertilizer out. This is what we're striving for. More bushels, more bushels, more bushels. Now I can get higher and higher yields. And you're putting out a lot of money.
Huge investment.
It is.
Huge investment.
It is.
98, 99% of the cornfields that you drive by is not sweet corn. Most of it is what we're planting, field corn. For us, it is processed for turkey feed. The corn we do is mostly for feed. You can make ethanol, corn oil. Yes, don't want to grab this. When this corn's matured, ready to be harvested, it won't have a good taste for you. It's not very sweet. So me and Joe is going to dig up a few seeds here and kind of show the spacing. We try to shoot for 2 inches at a minimum. Our soils are a lot different than Brooks' Cardinal up there, which is only 60 miles from us. You know, our soils are a little heavier, more clay soils, and he's got sandier soils, so he farms a little different than what we do. And Brooks plants with a John Deere, so he needs the best seed bed he can get. Sorry, Brooks. The Case IH, you know, there's a reason why we use that. So everybody has their own opinion, which is better, green or red, but you know, my opinion is right, Brooks. Red is better.
Younger kids that live on a farm and stuff, they don't want to really take it over. They don't want to work on a farm or nothing. And I feel like in farming is very important, and people don't understand that. Everything you eat, pretty much, farmers grow. Make sure and thank the farmers because they provide all that stuff for you guys. So after me and Brandon get done harvesting all these wheat fields and get our crop out of the fields, someone would come back with the bean planter and we'll come through here and plant beans right in this wheat stubble, and then you'll have to go through here and we'll have to spray it and fertilize it and water it. There's lots of other steps than just planting it and going on vacation. You gotta keep going and get some more crop in here and try to make some profit off of your wheat and beans to help your farm out and grow bigger. Thanks for joining, you guys. This is Farming with Dallas.
Talk about a stressful year. So we got our corn up in 4 days, really quick, really great stands. I've never had a really good crop like that be taken away so quick because the rain started in. And we went 3 weeks with heavy rains. You know, this ground was saturated so hard that these crops just went backwards quick. And then we had a lot of replant because we just frankly had a lot of acres just get flooded out. Exactly right. Another day on the farm, everything's moving quick now. So I know we try to have fun out here. You know, it's not always easy. When you go to the store and pick up your groceries, think a farmer. There's a lot of sweat involved in getting that food to your table. Come back next time and see how good a job I've done planting these beans. Thanks for sharing all these awesome experiences with us, and hope you all learned something. So this here is a river bottoms field, we call it, because it lays next to the river, the Wabash River. It should be crops, the river being high, it's full of water. And you know, the boys the other day were just talking about they wanted to go to the lake tubing. And I said, you know, we got the perfect lake here. And here we are.
Hi, I'm Cardinal, and I'm here with my friends. And we're gonna be going into that little pond, or whatever you call that thing right there. Let's get muddy. Yeah!
Okay, stand by, stand by.
Oh my God!
Dude, look at that. That's pretty awesome, actually.
So what a great day we did have. Something we'll never forget, or I'll never forget. It was a great time. As you can see, these boys are a mess. It's time to hose them off and get back to work.
So guys, we're going to talk here a little bit about my planter setup. Those row cleaners will actually clean that, the weeds and stuff. I mean, we can take it down to bare dirt. I mean, it can pull all the weeds out. Now, we were talking earlier about our fertilizer. These two hoses here come down. Now here, these are our disc blades. So it just kind of opens that ground up just enough, about that wide, where it can drop seed corn down in that trench. And then this wheel right here will come over the top and it'll pack it down to have a nice firm seed bed in. Like we get to a point row on our farm, end rows or whatever, they automatically shut off the rows so we waste zero seed. I'm thinking we saved like almost 20, 25 bags of seed corn. So what happens then, it goes from the hoppers, the seed corn gets blowed through these tubes into here. And right here we can see, looky there, we got seed corn down there. From the seed corn here, and then with vacuum, we'll suck it up against these holes. Each individual seed, it'll fit in this little hole right here like that, and it will carry it all the way down and lay it perfectly right there in that seed trench.
The John Deere ExactEmerge, this is a brush. This is what delivers it from the seed disc down to the ground. It's like 3/4 of an inch is where that brush delivers it to.
Is that what Kevin has?
No, his is a precision. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's a high-speed tube, but his has kind of got a belt similar, but of course it's not as good. In my opinion, this is the best placement planter out there.
So guys, here, this is actually corn. As you can see, it's not yellow, but the reason it's not yellow is because it's been treated. Insecticide on it, what that green is. Brooks, which fits him perfect, is pink, you know, so.
Happens to be pink. I know there's some green seed treatment, but we're looking at pink here, and pink is my favorite color.
Let's see if you can put it back together on camera.
I have trouble without being on camera doing this sometimes. When it works, it's a bad mother. You may want to edit that. Today we're finally back to planting. So we're down to 170 acres, and hopefully tomorrow at this time we will be done. I guess I was 4 years old, I hauled my first load of manure by myself, so on a tractor. Never forget it. I was so scared. I was on a big hill like this. Said most of my learning experiences come from ass chewings. Holy shit, they were diehards. I mean, there was only one way to do it, and that was their way. Most of the time, their way was right. That son of a just pushed up again. Okay. Ah, them big root wads get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. A lot of people know that we have a lot of manure from our turkey houses, and a lot of guys I've been hearing over the years been saying, well, I'm doing that because he's got all the manure and this and that, and that is so untrue. It definitely helps. If we don't manage our crop with some commercial fertilizer, we can't come close to the yields that we do, hurting our biology with the anhydrous that some guys run. Now, my great uncle, Ralph, I mean, if he had the technology that we have right now when he farmed, it would be absolute scary how much corn he could grow. Taught me 99% of what I know. So I don't have, as far as kin, you know, my brother, he drowned up here at the Patoka Lake in '98. My twin sister, she's alive yet, and then my half sister. I lost probably the closest one to me, my dad. I was 14. So I moved up with my grandparents then. But after I lost Dad, you know, he was kind of an idol. You know, big, strong dude, big arm wrestler. You know, I love arm wrestling. That's where probably I got all my competitive edge from him. He was just he was a badass. He'd have been one dude I'd like to, when I was in my prime and him in his prime, that would have been interesting. You know, he taught me hard work and never settle for average. And, you know, and that's kind of what I hope I'm passing on down to my kids, you know. You know, that's kind of why I'm pushing for these kids to kind of stay here and take over. So they got to deal with all this stuff. Then I can retire. That's the game plan.
Hello everyone, down here today with Dallas. What we're planting here is a soybean variety. Opening blades there, they sit at a V shape, and that's actually where the seed gets dropped down. Once it makes the furrow and drops the seed in, comes in the back, and we have our closing wheels there. Put the dirt firmly against the seed, make contact so it can get the moisture, and after that, it's up to Mother Nature. So like we showed you, the closing system on the back is what firms the soil around the seed. And me and Dallas have been working on a new state-of-the-art closing system.
It looks like I may be changing our closing system. I heard that Cardinal Farms, Brandon and Brooks, are coming out with a new closing system. Just must be state-of-the-art. But they say it must be something fantastic, so I can't wait to see what it does.
So I think this is really going to take over the industry, and yeah, we're anxious to kind of show you how we've been working on it. I think this is going to change the way planting will be done forever.
Oh yeah, this is going to change the game.
Clear to go.
as you can see, we need a little more fine tuning, a little more adjusting, but we'll get it.
So the ride on the tractor, pretty fun. But what was not fun about it was I got a bunch of spiky things shot up my butt. Not good.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong